This one is for the individuals that love to reminisce and almost get stuck in a cycle of, I wish I would have. You have times where certain individuals get stuck in the what ifs, portraying the future, thinking of the worst case scenario, and you can change that to the best case scenario. But what about something for the individuals that like to think of reminiscing on mistakes? I don't believe that I've ever made a mistake. I believe that I have made choices at the level of awareness that I was at. And these choices, they had consequences. Some consequences are good, and some consequences were they stung a little bit. I try to remind myself that if I ever see myself getting into a little spiral of, man, I should have done this different, or what would the outcome right now be if I would have XYZ? It doesn't make any sense to get stuck in something that I already went through. You're reliving it. You're executing the same chemicals, which means that you're producing the same emotions and vice versa. And you're pretty much allowing your body to relive that same situation all over again, even though that situation is done for, even though that situation already happened. Once again, try to adapt that mentality and I don't mean this mentality in a way of like the true form of narcissism. I mean the mentality of being able to flow and being okay with what happened and being able to find healing in the things that were not okay that happened. So once again, you have never made any mistakes, truly, really. You just made choices at the level of awareness that you had. And these choices, some had consequences, good, some bad. Try to look at things in a different perspective, because we can't change the past. We can only change how we portray them now. And that is almost the beautiful art of transmutation. Transmuting energy, allowing something that was sent to destroy you, something that perhaps you initiated yourself that could have destroyed you, and transmuting that energy, making it something completely different. It's your choice. Life is going to have suffering, but at the same time, it's us whether we want to hold that suffering or turn it to something else. Yeah, just food for thought. I love being able to be just an alchemist, and the beautiful thing about it is that anybody can do it. Anybody can do this because you are the one that is in control of your thoughts. Begin to journal and look at your patterns. No one else can do it for you. No one else can identify these patterns. Like, sure, we have these great individuals like therapists and coaches and whatnot, but they help us be enlightened to these things. So either way, these people are great assets to the healing community. But in reality, no one can do the work for you. And we can't do the work for other people. Some people, we cannot put our hands in their problems either. This is kind of changing the subject, but we have to be wise enough to not put our hands in other people's situations. Sometimes that is the most respectful thing that you can do and the most helpful thing that you can do, because What if you are keeping them from the growth that they're supposed to experience? What if the situation that they're going through, that they're asking you to solve because they don't understand how to solve it yet, what if that is their breakthrough? What if that is what shifts their mentality, but if you solve the problem for them, they don't get that. They have to go through it again. That situation will come up again. That person will come up again. So sometimes use discernment, but sometimes the most valuable thing that you can do for yourself or others is face yourself and don't put your hands in situations that you aren't meant to. Because if it's our karma, it's our karma. If it's their karma, it's their karma. And not all karma is bad. Sometimes that word gets a bad rep. Don't worry. But with all in all, I have never made mistakes. I have made choices. And these choices had consequences, some good and some bad. Yes, let that reminisce. Let yourself think of a new way, and let yourself reminisce and forgive yourself if you start to go in that, when you start to go in that cycle, because nobody's perfect. Okay? You're gonna make it.